Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. If you are watching, let me know. Say hi. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear where you're watching from. Just enjoy and comment along. I love to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching in advance. It is now June and it is a great month. We have a really awesome special on for June. It's our starter kit. It's on for, it's still the $135, but instead of getting $165 worth of product, which is our normal starter kit, you get $206 worth of product for the $135. There's no shipping cost and there's no tax if you live in Alberta and only have GST. If you live somewhere else where there's more than GST, then you get taxed on that, but no shipping cost and no GST. So it's a really great time to take advantage of that starter kit. If you have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine on your list, that's a great one. If you just want like all the new colors that have just come out, or if you just have a really long list of stuff from the new annual catalog that you have, it's a great way to get a ton of free stuff. And you end up having a discount after that as you go. So, and I would love to have you on my team. So anyways, that is, oh, and we have a second special too. I almost forgot. Our designer series paper, selected designer series paper, which is a lot of it, is 15% off for the month of June. So check those out. You can find them on my store at lindagibbs.stampinup.net, and you can see all what's available. If you have any questions about the starter kit, please contact me. Let me know. I'm happy to help you with that. So today we are going to be playing with the Little Monkey Bundle, which is a stamp set and a punch. So it's no die cutting, although I am doing some die cutting. And I realized, I was like, I tried to do 3 cards, one kind of just mostly stamping with the punch, and then one with a bit more, and then one with, and then I realized I used die cuts throughout the whole thing. But the first one can be done without any die cuts. So I will point that out as we go. I'm just bad at that. So I'm going to have to start simplifying my crafting a little. Anyways, let's get you turned around and we'll get started. Okay. Try not to hit the power button as we go here. Okay, here is our little bundle. It is a very cute set. It is great for kids, baby cards, but it's also great for any card. You will see. You can make it as cutesy or as grown up as you would like. It would make a great Valentine's card on Bananas About You. So lots of fun to be had. And then there's the punch, and it's a multi-piece punch. I'm going to show you my pieced monkey. I didn't, this is just with paper. I did end up stamping the outline and stuff. So you could just use the punch to build a monkey, but I don't love it. I prefer coloring it with blends. So I like to have the stamps as well. That's just my preference. And I'm sure you could do a different color combination. And I realized I probably should have used Petal Pink here. And this is, you know what? That's why it looks funny. I meant to use Pecan Pie, and I think I used Copper Clay. Maybe that's why he just looks off. Anyways, that's my bad. I will have to play with that some more. Okay, so if you have watched these lives before, you know that I make 3 cards, and we're going to start, oh, I guess I need the punch to be left out. I'm going to start with the simplest, but like I said, I went a little overboard in my simpleness and forgot to not have any die cuts. So I did die cut this circle with the Stitched Shapes dies. You could easily cut out a circle, use a cup or whatever that you have. If you don't like doing the circles, you could always cut out a square. That's good too. Whatever, or like wonky shaped, whatever you want. It's doable without die cutting. I just want you to know that, since I was bad and I meant to not use any die cuts. All right, so first I'm starting with some Pool Party, and I've got my blender brush here, and I'm just gonna brush this whole circle. If you had a square, you could do your square, whatever shape you want to use. It's just a background for my monkey. So there's my sky blue background. Then I'm going to stamp my cute little monkey here. This is the one that matches with the punch, and I'm going to use, actually, no, I'm not. I meant to keep out, one sec, that really espresso. Instead of using Memento, which is what you would normally use when you are coloring with blends, I am just using our regular ink. I find like I'm not going all over it, so it's not gonna bleed horrendously on me, and I just like a little bit lighter than the black, although it almost looks black. So whatever you have. And then I love the blends for coloring. It's quick, it's easy, it doesn't have lines, anyone can do it. It doesn't take a lot of, oops, I just said anyone can do it, and then I go and color his face. Being too careless. Okay, that's okay, because it's all just gonna get blended and it'll all be good. Isn't he cute? And he looks even cuter when he's colored, I think. He's such a little cutie. Okay, and I think they're extra cute because when my kids were babies, their crib stuff and their actually, no, not all of them, just my youngest, he had monkey, he had a monkey quilt and monkeys. I think they were actually from Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up for a while did wall decor, like those vinyl decals, and they had monkeys. So I had, and actually, now that I think about it, it was, and I've taken it down. I don't know if I should have a picture somewhere, but it basically had a branch and it had 3 little monkeys hanging from the branches on his wall. And maybe that's why I think that this is so, I had to have this out when I saw it. And it must just be because it's a reminder of when he was little, and he's now almost 15. So, you know, time goes by too fast. My baby's not a baby anymore. Okay, so now of all the colors, so this is a really strange color combination for me. I barely ever used Crushed Curry. I'm actually, when I pulled out the pack, I'm at the end of a pack that has a blue label on it. So that's like, I don't know how many years ago, because they went blue and then they went green and then they went black and white. So this is like years and years of having Crushed Curry. You can tell it's not a favorite, but I actually quite like it. And then I discovered I like it with Pool Party, and I like it with Pecan Pie. So yeah, I'm discovering things years later. Then I'm going to take some Crushed Curry, and I'm just going to stamp a background. So I was trying to pretend, okay, if I don't have a die cutting machine and I don't have all these other things, what can I do? So then I took this leaf and this leaf that are both from the set. And then I just come in and stamp it willy-nilly. You can change directions. Give it a bit of interest here. Okay, maybe we'll do one more over here. And then we've got our more leafy one. I'll just bring it in here. Let's go upright. One more maybe here. I don't know. Will it get too busy? I think it'll get too busy. I'll just go like that. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a background. Gives it more interest than just a plain piece of paper. And then I took a piece of Old Olive. So again, not a color combo I ever would have thought of. The blue, I don't know if I feel like, oh, I did. I took it out of the catalog. They have a, let me show you. So I was looking at this card and they used crushed curry and they have a pool party, and I assume this is pecan pie and then some Old Olive. So I was like, those are different colors. And then I changed it up and put it together. Imagine that. Okay. So then I'm gonna put this, glue this down. Hello, Yolande. You made it. It's not even, what did you say? You thought it was at 1? What was I doing here? Okay, so then I don't want this whole circle on here. I just want a portion of the circle. So I think it's easier to use glue here. It's easier to go around in a circle. And then we can just glue that down, and then we can cut off our excess with some snips. Okay, and then we still have our little monkey. But before I do that, oh, you know what? I should have stamped my sentiment first and made sure I left enough room. It's a little bit tight. I'll have to put it here. Oopsie! I obviously didn't do it this way, or I pushed my circle over more the last time I did it. That's okay. You can always make it work. So I am inking this up in Versamark, and then I'm just going to stamp it onto my Old Olive so it gives it more color. And then we'll stick it down. Close all this up before I take out my embossing powder. So here again, if you don't have embossing powder in a gun, you could simply just stamp it with any color, or if you have Versamark, it does give you that nice water look of the same. I just had a, I was like, is this clear? This is clear powder, right? So you can pretend you have all the colors when you don't, when you have Versamark. I actually used it a lot when I first started out, and I didn't have a lot of colors in my collection. So if you're in that same boat where you don't have a lot of colors, you can always, Versamark should be on your list, and you can just stamp it on whatever cardstock, and it'll look like you have that color of ink. But here I just, you know, stepped it up a little bit more. I wanted it to have a bit of texture. So I don't know if you can see that in the light. It just kind of pops a little bit more. And then we have our monkey to punch out. So I've got my punch, and you just stick it in and line him up. And you get a whole bunch of other pieces, which is fine. And then he needs a banana. What do you guys think? I think he needs a banana if I can find. And then there's a banana stamp. So if you want to give it a bit more detail rather than just a cutout banana. Oops, I had some momentum on that. And then we can take the punch and line up the banana. And again, you get a bunch of little pieces. You just need the banana. And then, actually, you know what? Maybe I should have done it. I should do a reverse. Do you guys know how to do the reverse stamping? I don't have the stuff out. I'll do it next time, or I'll have to do a video and maybe I'll make a reel. And then I'm just going to put some dimensionals on our little monkey here. Maybe some littles on his ears. That's probably good. And then we have our little monkey, and then we will just put a small dimensional here, and we'll just stick it like so with our little monkey. So that's, I mean, so here's the problem where my card came in, that I lost track of the simple no die cut. So I've got a crushed curry card base. And then I've got this piece. So you could do it just like this. You could, if I had been thinking, I would have just cut a piece of white maybe to put in behind, just a bit bigger. But I think the polka dots from the card in the catalog kind of made me like the polka dots, and I didn't have the crushed curry paper that has the polka dots, so I took the scalloped die from the Scalloped Contours dies, which are in the annual catalog, and I cut out a piece of white to put in behind, so then it kind of gave me that whimsical bubbled look. But again, like I said, if you don't have die cutting, this could be a square. You could cut out a circle with and then you can just put a border. I might actually do just a border like this instead of this for this one. So here's your options. I need that for another card, so I'm not gonna cut it, but here's your options. What a mess I'm creating. There we go. Card number 1. As simple or as complicated as you would like. What do you think of these colors? I don't actually, I mean, I don't know if I love it, but I also don't, I'm surprised that I do like it. Okay, next. Next is a fun one. Where did I just put that piece of paper? We need that. Okay, so I've got a piece of white here. Let me just get rid of some of this mess. Okay, so we have our piece of white, and then I wanted to do an embossed background, so not getting a little fancier. I guess you need a machine to do, well, you don't have to. I know people who have, where did I put my, emboss, here it is. I know people who emboss with these using a rolling pin. So it can be done without a machine. I have not tried it. Don't quote me on it, but I've been told it's doable. I believe, I should ask Marcy. I think she said she's done it. Yolanda, have you tried? I thought we did it once. I don't remember using a rolling pin though. I can't remember what I did. Anyways, this is the Timber 3D embossing folder, again in the annual catalog. Beautiful wood grain. Now I could just emboss it. I could have embossed it just on a pecan pie or something. I wanted to have a bit more white, and I could do it white on white, but I wanted to have the wood grain show more. So we have done this before, but in case you haven't seen it, you can ink up your embossing folders. You can use your stamp pad, you can use a brayer, whatever you have and prefer. And then you put your paper down like so. Bring out the, see, I just have too many things out. This is too small of a space. Okay. Then we need our number one. We need our embossing folder, and we need the gray number 4 plate. That's all we need to do the embossing, or apparently a rolling pin and no machine. Whatever works. Okay. And then the favorite part is when you get to take it out and you get to see what it looks like. That's my favorite part. It's like the ta-da. Ready? Ta-da. And then you have this beautiful looking wood grain. And this you can just rinse off in the sink. You can wipe it with a baby wipe. Whatever suits your fancy. Isn't that, like, doesn't that really pop the texture? I think that's cool. Okay, so that's our background. Then we need more. More. So I've got another piece of basic white. I'm going to use, you guys are going to be proud of me. I did fussy cutting on this one. Lots and lots of fussy cutting, which I don't normally do. Okay, so I've got these leaves. I feel like they're not banana leaves. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called. They're from the, they are in the online exclusives. So you have to go to the online store to see them. They are not in the catalog. Tropical leaf. I guess they don't have a fun name. To me, I think of a banana leaf when I see them. So I wanted to put these on there. I took some of those, and then I took the leaf from the monkey set as well. So we've got some leaves. So I'm going to stamp 3 of each, and I'm going to use Granny Apple Green for this. And what I did was I stamped this one off. And then I took the, not the vine, the veins, I guess, and then I stamped it full strength. Okay, so that's my first leaf. And then I stamped this one with Memento because I was going to color them with blends. A little bit of mixture. I don't know if I have enough room. I need to leave room for my little monkey. Okay, and then while I have this out, I'm going to stamp my same monkey because I want to use the punch. You know, I'm already doing a lot of fussy cutting, so have to reduce that. Oh, I still need to stamp. Oh, where's... Okay, I need little monkey and I need a banana. We will... Oh, I should have done... Because when I punch the monkey, he's gonna... Let's just go up here. I think that'll be okay. Where's my punch? Yeah, that should be okay. And then for little monkey, I want to separate the words. So I took my black marker and I'm going to stamp my marker. This is an old marker. Should probably find a new one. And then you can't forget to huff on it. Doesn't look like it has enough ink on that. Okay. Yeah, the K just doesn't want to hold the ink, but that's okay. It's good enough. Good enough. Isn't it a nice wood grain? I thought so. I really like this pecan pie. It's a really good woodsy. It's good for the monkey. It's good for a lot of things. I was really sad when they took away the soft suede, but I think pecan pie is actually a better brown. It's not quite as dark, so I think it'll actually be good. So I always say, I know now, because I used to get disappointed when they change colors and say, oh, what am I going to do? They're taking this color away. And now I've realized I usually learn to love whatever they brought out new. And it's all good. So I wanted to get a little bit of yellow. I'm calling these banana leaves now. Those of you who know your leaves, maybe you can tell me if these are banana leaves. I assume they are because they're in with the monkey set, with the bananas. So I added a bit of lemon lolly, and then I'm going to add some Granny Apple Green here, which is what we used for these leaves. So we want them to match. And then I've got a bit of Parakeet Party, I think, right? Yes. To kind of blend the two, maybe a little bit. I don't want it too yellowy. Like so. What do you think? Maybe just a bit of the green up there. So we've got our, we'll blend the Parakeet Party with the green a bit more. That's the wonderful part of the blends. You can just keep going and going till you're happy. Okay, so our leaves are done. We need our banana, the light lemon lolly again, and then we'll take some dark. And don't worry, I'm not going to fussy cut all of this in front of you. I will just show you the card because that would be painful. And you know what? You've already seen me color the monkey, so I was going to do it the same again. I was just going to show you the one cutting out the monkey, the words, not the monkey. So I wanted, the little is so square, so we kept it square, but this one I like to cut when it's in kind of scripty writing. It's nice to kind of give it some to go with the flow of it, I guess. And so I did more of something. I just realized I was barely on camera for that. Sorry. I gotta get longer arms, or I gotta sit closer or something. So that was my monkey. So then the finished card. So I used a Lemon Lolly cardstock, and by accident I put it on a dirty leaf, but I'm going to cover that with a piece of white cardstock, and no one will be the wiser except for those of you that just watch this. And then I cut out those leaves and I popped them up on dimensionals, and here's my banana leaves and the little monkey split apart, and then some they are adhesive back solid gems. So it has it in the pecan pie, boho blue, and lemon lolly. Isn't it cute? So that'd be a nice little baby card, a welcome card. It's very neutral. It can be for a boy or a girl. Love it. So now you need the monkey one. I can't remember if you said the monkey one was one of the ones that you liked when you were going through the catalog, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, next is a really fun one. Really, really fun. Okay, we get to have fun before we have even more fun. That's the best card to make. I have discovered I just love making backgrounds because it's fun. And you can see I had so much fun, I splattered things everywhere when I was having my fun. So I have a piece of shimmer white, which is more absorbent for water. Not as absorbent as the watercolor paper, but better than basic white. And then I have, you could use your silicone sheet, you can use a block, you can use anything that's just waterproof to do this. I'm going to use my ink refills, but if you have stamping spots, those would work really well as well. They would almost work better because you get a better spread of the ink, and I think I'm going to counteract that with a water painter. We will see how that works because, well, it worked, but you'll see with the refills, you put your drops down, and then they kind of just, even when you spray it with water, they stay concentrated unless you really spray hard, which gets even more splatter everywhere. It's hard to make that circle dot go away. So if you have the stamping spots, I would suggest using them to add different greens. Oh, and I forgot to tell you what greens I'm using. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Okay, so I've got soft seafoam, I've got old olive, and I've got mossy meadow. Those are the three greens I've got on the go here. So now before I spray it, I think I'm gonna try and just kind of spread it out, if I remember which color is which, before I mix them. Don't want to mix them up too much yet. They will get mixed, but let's just spread the soft seafoam doesn't really need spreading. It's more the dark ones that, like you can see, it's almost like it's maybe my ink refill is just too coagulated at this point. I don't know. Maybe I need a new one. Ooh, I'm gonna have to clean that off. That is super green. Okay, I'm gonna add a bit more soft seafoam because it just seems to be overrun with these dark colors. Okay, so I've already got them pre-spread a little bit. I'm gonna take my spritzer. I'm gonna add some water. There we go. And so you can kind of see how it still has globs. It would be really globby if you don't pre-spread it, which is fine. You'll see, it's very forgiving. And then you can just tap it. You can see there was a blob there, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna try and get, I want my whole cardstock to be covered. So I'm just gonna pick up ink wherever it didn't ink. Almost like I didn't have enough ink. Might need a bit more. At least I'm using it all up. Okay, well, that's good enough. Good enough. And then you want to have the baby wipe handy. Clean that up. Actually, you know what I can do is I can kind of clean off my brush and add a bit of this green here off my brush. Use up all the color. Why not? And you'll see why I don't want any white showing once we get started. All right, I have to remember to wash that. Look, even my water turned green. That was a whole lot of color. Okay, so I'm just gonna give this a quick zap of heat to dry it a little. I'm going to run it through a dye, and so you don't want it sopping wet or it'll just kind of stick to everything and make a mess. It probably won't cut very well. It can tear. So just either set it aside and let it dry and work on some other stuff and come back. For this purpose, I did not make an extra one because at first I wasn't going to do the die cutting on. I was just going to show you the card, but I decided the wow after die cutting was worth showing you. So, didn't want you to miss the fun that I had when I had that ta-da moment. Okay, so then I'm going to take out my Big Boss again, my plate number 1, and I need my cutting stuff, so I need number 2, and then I need this is a number 3, even though it doesn't have a number on it. Then I have this beautiful new die. It is from the Gorgeous Garden dies. It comes in a 2-pack, so it comes with this one, and it comes with a floral one as well, which is super fun to use. But today we are using this one. It just goes with the monkey super, super well. So I'm going to put it on my background. And I have another number 2 plate. And just to know, this doesn't cut the edge, so it'll leave the frame. So if you want to have your paper cut just so that it, you don't have to trim it down afterwards, that probably is the easiest way. I'm just going to go back a second time just in case, because my paper was still a little bit wet. Okay. Ready for the ta-da? Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. All right. I'm gonna pull it off camera so I can give you the ta-da. Actually, I'll do it this way so you can't see it yet. So you can see all the little pieces. It's so intricate and nice. Okay. So it looks like most of the pieces are off. We'll move this because, you know, we need like the blank canvas here Ready? Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? And then when you put it onto a white, doesn't that pop? And it's got all the different colors. So if you don't want to play with the water and the inks and whatever, you could use blender brushes and just do a background that way. You could cut out the leaves and then paint them after the fact. There's many ways to do this. This gives you kind of an instant multicolored, because you know, leaves aren't perfect, right? You don't want a perfect green background. You could use a piece of green cardstock and then blender brush a different green on there to give it some texture. But I just think this is just so pretty, and it's like more natural because you don't have any control. I'm not good if I'm trying to control something, because then you get frustrated. So this way it's like whatever it is, it is. And you can see like it's not blotchy anymore. Okay, so that's the background. Then we're going to use the monkeys again, but this time I'm going to use this cute monkey. I love its face, and the stamp set does come, where's my stamp set? It does have a face that you can stamp. You could draw any face as well. And it also has a peeled banana that I haven't used, and a cute heart. There's a couple pieces I haven't used, and I didn't use this little monkey in this one. But just because I wanted to go a little faster and have the punched ones. And now we've got this one that I had to fussy cut. Like, yeah, I'm going to town on fussy cutting. I was tempted to use my my Scan and Cut, but for one, I was like, no. But if I was doing a whole bunch, I'd be all over the Scan and Cut. Love that thing. Okay, so I've got my monkey, and then I'm gonna have, oh, where did I put it away? Too fast. Okay, I don't know if you guys were here when I mentioned it. So for June, we have a starter kit deal. It's the usual $135, but instead of $165 worth of product, you're getting $206 worth of product right now for the $135. So if you have a long list of things you want, take advantage and sign up for the starter kit, and you can get all the stuff you wanted for a lot cheaper. It's a really good deal. Don't miss out. Since I've colored the monkey before, I won't bore you. I'm going to color this branch, and I fussy cut the branch. I amazed myself today. I was all about the fussy cutting. Must be your inspiration, Yolande, of all your coloring. It's like, if she could do all that coloring, I can fussy cut. And I guess I did a bit of coloring. Not a lot, though. This is my my level of coloring. And then I'm going to use Old Olive, because that was my middle color for this. And just, I'm going to use, so we have the light and the dark of our blends, which is always nice, because then you can really give it some definition and look like you know what you're doing, even if you don't, such as I. I have no clue about the shadowing and whatever, but I find the blends just like do it for you. And then the way the stamp, like if you're following stamps and stuff, they make it even easier, because they usually show you where to add your color, which is kind of cool. There we go. See, doesn't that, like, just using the two tones, it just gives it some pizzazz. And then we're going to pretend that, I'm going to say she, I don't know, those eyelashes, just think of a she to me. Of course, my boys have the longest eyelashes. Boys always have the best eyelashes. I don't know what it is. And then, oopsie, we'll see if that, oh, it didn't. It felt like I twisted it as I stamped it, but maybe it was just loose on the block. I don't know. Funny things happening. And then I stamped some bananas, but you've already seen me do that. Okay, so cut. Through the magic of television. Ta-da! So here is, I popped up, cut all these guys out. So I just like wrapped his tail around the branch. I added a piece of, now I'm wondering, I think it's Mossy Meadow I used, not, let me just compare it to this one. Yeah, it's Mossy Meadow. So I used a piece of Mossy Meadow, and then I made some bananas. Isn't it cute? He looks like he's in the jungle to me. So that is my third card. So this one was my kind of the avid crafter, the one that likes to fussy cut, die cut, do it all, have it all. And then my middle one was this one. But again, I ended up fussy cutting, but I did use the punch, so it's a little bit less. Fewer pieces and parts, although I did use the leaves, but you could just use the leaves from the set if you were limited to the one stamp set. And then the simplest one, this one. Those are my monkeys. I hadn't really played with this set yet, and this was my first, I made one, I think I made, no, I thought I was making a baby card. Anyways, I can't remember. I did pull it out once, and then I didn't play with it much, and I love doing these lives because it forces me to play with the product, and then I start playing, and then it's like, oh, this is fun. And then, yeah, I wish I could do that with like all of it, because then you're like, oh, I like this and I like this, but then you want it all. So, you know, it can spiral downhill. Anyways, these are my cards for this week. Hopefully you have a great rest of your week. It's supposed to be super hot and it's beautiful and sunny. So have a great weekend, and we hopefully will see you next Wednesday. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.